better have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
How's it going, guys? I'm Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And welcome back, yes back, to Baller's Basement. Now, today guys, we are here to bring you some NBA news. It's been crazy. Ever since the finals have been over, teams have been active like crazy. And the draft hasn't even come yet. The draft is in, what, a day and a half, 2 days? The news that we're bringing to you guys today is about the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers, the president of basketball operations, a GM, he has made a trade with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, what the trade is, he's sending D'Angelo Russell and Timofey Mozgov to the Brooklyn Nets for Brook Lopez in the 27th overall pick in this year's draft. Now, Chris, what do you think about this trade?
Okay, so my feeling on this trade is that they both kind of lost.
Really?
Yes, the Lakers got rid of the big Timothy Mozgov contract, which was a waste. I don't know why they offered it to him in the first place. But they got rid of D'Angelo Russell, who has great potential to be a great talent in this league. They only got Brook Lopez back for him, which Brook Lopez is injury prone, and he has, a history of not being the best player on the court. And I think that's really gonna cause problems for the Lakers in the long run. Since they already have Zubac, who's gonna play center, the same position that they just got Brook Lopez for.
Honestly, I feel like with this trade of them getting rid of D'Angelo Russell, I pretty much think it's a for sure thing that they're going to take Lonzo Ball with the second pick.
Definitely.
That's first and foremost. Now, my perspective on the trade is actually the complete opposite from yours. I think this is a win-win for both teams. From Brooklyn's perspective, they weren't going to acquire a talent or a young player with the potential that a D'Angelo Russell has off their own means. I mean, this trade, in my opinion, is fairly good because they don't have any assets to really give up to grab a player of that caliber, and they don't have any draft picks to get a player like a D'Angelo Russell through the draft. So the fact that they were able to get him is pretty cool because they could potentially develop him, and he could be part of their long-term, vision of what the Brooklyn Nets will be in the future. So that's nice for the Brooklyn Nets. For the Lakers, I think it's a win because they were able to dump the Timofey Mozgov contract, which is one of the worst contracts in the league. It's huge. And at the same time, they were able to acquire another first-round pick. So now they have 3 first-round picks. They have the number 2 overall pick, which they'll probably take Alonzo Ball. They have now the newly acquired 27th overall pick, which they got from the Brooklyn Nets. And they have the 28th overall pick. And there's already rumors that they're going to take the 27th overall pick and the 28th overall pick and try to package it into another trade within itself. So that's a strategic trade on the part of a Magic Johnson. So kudos to him for that. They were able to dump the Timofey Mozgov contract. They got rid of a D'Angelo Russell. I think D'Angelo Russell's talented. I think he's, a proven scorer. It shows that he's able to score the ball. He has a natural court vision. So he's a solid player, but it just looked like, given the past events that took place and just an overall fit, he wasn't right for the Lakers. So maybe he'll have a new start in Brooklyn. So getting rid of him, I thought they could have got more for him, but the fact that they were able to dump this contract relieves them big time in terms of cap space. Now they're going to have like a $60 million worth of cap space, which is pretty dang good. And they'll set them up for 2018, which we all know the Lakers have their eye on when Paul George is a free agent, LeBron James is a free agent. It puts them in a better position for the future. To your other point that they got Brook Lopez and they already have Zubac. Zubac's still developing. And Brook Lopez, he's a solid 5, a solid post scorer. He could be serviceable for them. So it's not a horrible move. And I may be mistaken, but if I also believe correctly, Brook Lopez's contract is going to be up soon anyway, so it's not a bad move on the Lakers.
Next year.
Yeah, it's not a bad move on the Lakers' part. Win for Brooklyn for getting a D'Angelo Russell. I didn't think they could get that type of potential young talent, given their current situation. So kudos to them for that, and kudos for the Lakers, for being able to dump that Timofey Mozgov contract and pick up another first rounder. All they have left to do is dump that Luol Deng contract, and they'll be in good shape. So that's my perspective on the trade.
I can't say kudos to them. I mean, Brook Lopez is injury prone, and he has a history of not being the best on the floor. Like I said, he's not going to really make much of a difference to the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell is actually a better scorer than Brook Lopez already, and I think that they're giving away their offense to build for the future in terms of trying to get LeBron and Paul George and Anthony Davis and any of those free agents to come join the Los Angeles Lakers. But if they don't join, then they're going to have done that. They're going to have given up D'Angelo Russell, and they could have got something much better for it. And for Brooklyn, I don't think D'Angelo Russell is going to, carry Brooklyn to anything. So I don't know if he's going to re-sign with them once his contract is up.
Okay, well, here's the thing on that. I'll start with D'Angelo Russell re-signing with the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, he's not going to carry them to anything. He's still a young player. They're looking to develop him and maybe incorporate them within their culture and their team. In terms of them re-signing him, they're going to have his bird rights. So, yeah, sure, maybe he could go other places, but if you have the Brooklyn Nets that could offer you $40 million that another team can't, and you're in New York, and there's opportunities there, you'd be surprised what he'd do. So I think it's a good gamble on their part. When you look at the Brook Lopez thing about, he doesn't offer them much, blah, 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 I don't think they're, trying to acquire Brook Lopez like, he's an immediate, piece of what we're trying to build. He's just, I think it's just a strategic move to dump Timofey Mozgov's contract and to, set them up for the future. And like you said, okay, fine, they dump the contract, they get rid of D'Angelo. What if PG-13 and LeBron James, what if they don't sign? I still don't know what they're going to do with those late first rounders that they have now. So maybe they can make a trade with those, and they have other assets. They have other things. They have other pieces on their team. They could roll with the punches. I think Magic has a plan A, B, and C. But I think it was just a good move for the.
I think it could have been a better strategy by the Lakers to get rid of that Mozgov contract.
How else would they have gotten rid of it? Why would another team want to take that contract on?
I think they could have given another player instead of D'Angelo Russell.
Like who?
I actually like D'Angelo Russell on the Lakers. In the Lakers rebuild video, I said that they should keep him and move him to the 2 while they have Lonzo.
I mean, but Mozgov has over $60 million left on his contract. You have to give a team some type of incentive to take that on.
Yeah, I understand that.
So
I that's a really good talent to give up.
Well, I mean, the thing I love about this channel is we have two different perspectives on it. You think it was could have been a better trade on their part. I think it was a fair trade, good trade for both parties. But, at the end of the day, that's our perspectives on it. Lakers traded D'Angelo, traded Mozgov, got back Brook Lopez, and a late first-round pick in this year's draft. So that's the NBA news report for today. We're going to have more coming out. We're going to try to stay on top of it. Guys, if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. We would truly appreciate it. And let us know what you think. Do you agree with Chris? Do you think it was a bad trade on both teams' part, or it could have been better? Or do you think it was a fair trade? Let us know in the comments section down below. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, please be sure to subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that bell button so you're part of our Noto Squad or Notification Squad, so you know every time Chris and I are down in the basement talking hoops. I appreciate you guys listening if you made it this far, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.